we are not going to wake up, do the right things, it's going to be too late.
So she's already re-registered as a Republican.
Oh,
so you're no longer a Democrat. That's
no
it.
longer.
Okay, you're done.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about, we talked about the reason why. The reason why you switched, like Dov Hikind did, like Tulsi Gabbard did, from a Democrat to a Republican is Democrats are destroying this country, but specifically anti-Semitism. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. Here, you know what? Since October 7, what we have seen when it comes to anti-Semitism is really out of control. It's disgraceful. As a person of color and as a Jew, I can tell you I'm very sensitive about discrimination, and I care, about race and how everybody should be respectful, And I have 7 children. And this
you have 7 children?
Yes, I do.
You must work out a lot. You run? What do you do? What do you do to stay in shape?
Just running after them, I guess. It's a lot of work. Think about it.
Just feeding all the kids.
Exactly. So I understand this, and I love this country, as a person of color, as a woman, this country protecting me. But when it comes to the Jewish community, and everything we see, like things are out of control, and Jewish people were attacked because who they are. And this country, really, they don't do enough to protect the Jewish community.
I was going to ask you that, specifically in this city. I know you live in Nassau County. You've got Blakeman, you got Pete King, you got Cairo, you got my buddy Anthony D'Esposito. You got all these great people. But the mayor, for example, and I'm very tough on the mayor, and I'm sorry, but he was supposed to come save us from de Blasio. And he says all the right things. He was at Nova Scott last week with Lizzie Sobetsky after the train incident. He was saying all the right things. But he does nothing. First Columbia has to happen, then he speaks. Then the train has to happen, then he speaks. Now he's got an opportunity to call out Alvin Bragg. Bragg is not going to put one of these people in jail. He dropped all the charges. 32 of these animals that broke into Columbia that terrorized our people for the better part of 2 weeks. They were too scared to go to the bathroom. And Alvin Bragg is dropping every charge. That goes back to the mayor and the political officials in the city, no?
100%. Although he's a nice guy, Eric Adam, I met him in different events, and he says the right things, but come on. We want action. I don't care. Right. Good speech is good speech. I want action. Yes, you have to be tough on this. How long are we going to wait for somebody to do something? I'm sick and tired of this. Think about what happened last week with the train inside the subway. I mean, for protesters to call, if you are a Zionist, you have to leave the train. Right after I saw this, I did my video. And within 30 minutes, a father from Nassau County called me. He said, Mazi, you are not going to believe. My daughter was inside that subway. As soon as they walked in, they started to scream. She said he told me that she had to hide her necklace with the Star of David. She was shaking.
Yep.
She left the train, and she was crying and calling him.
I wish I was on that train. I would have stood up in 2 seconds. My wife was listening. She'll get mad, but I'm telling you, I would have stood up. Because I've done it before. I stopped a guy from beating up a Hasidic guy on a train before, on the Ford train. Bruce Blakeman's niece was on that train, and she hit her chai also. So that's my point. So all these things are going on. Did you ever think, Mazi Pillow, coming here after living in Israel from Ethiopia, did you ever think you'd see the day that in New York City, I mean, outside of Israel, there's no more Jews in one place, and right here, that in New York City, we'd be targeted, and basically people say, the officials, the people in charge, we love you, but...
I never thought. Still, until now, every time when something happened, I'm like, oh my God, another thing's happening, nobody holding them accountable. And I have a problem with this. You want to be fair? Be fair. Right now, the Jewish community needs you, and you as a mayor and the governor. Where is the governor?
Oh, she's
Governor Hochul. If you really care about this community, you're supposed to protect this community right now.
One of the things that people were critical of you about, and again, now I feel badly because I think they were wrong about a lot of stuff, but, people talk. They said, Mazi's not that high on Trump. Now, look, I didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I didn't. But it took me a very, very short amount of time to figure out he's great. And the one thing that no one can argue about, nobody, even the people that hate his guts, is there's never been a president, even Reagan, better to Israel than Donald Trump, ever. And they said, well, Mazi's not really high on Donald Trump. But that wasn't really true, was that?
Absolutely not. It's just a lie. Again, it was another way to spread a lie about, what I feel about Trump. I think Trump was the greatest president. And when I say that, he's a man of action, okay? He will do what he promised to do. And when it comes to Israel, I mean, he was the greatest friend. I mean, he recognized Jerusalem as a capital city of Israel, and he brought a peace process, Abraham Accord.
Right.
And he was the president who really did things like nobody else
He
before.
also recognized the Golan Heights.
The Golan Heights,
And he also
exactly.
stopped delivering pallets of cash, which Obama and Biden do, to the Palestinians who hand it directly to Hamas at 3 o'clock in the morning.
100%.
Yeah.
So he is a man of action. He was great with Israel for the Jewish people. He was great president for our country. I supported him last time, okay, even though I was registered as a Democrat. And I'm going to support him big time right here because this November we have the opportunity as a country to wake up and see who is the one who want to protect this country. Again, I'm saying that as a mother of 7 children, I am concerned about this country, about the future of this country. If we are not going to wake up, do the right things, it's going to be too late. And we are not going to allow this to happen. November will be a great month because we're going to have, Trump
Let's
again.
hope so. That's Mazi Pilip.